Happy Friday. So we are wrapping up our mass and volume lessons. We're going to combine these two today with just simple word problems. Okay, so it'll be pretty easy. We don't have to compare anything to anything else, even though we should remember our grams are equivalent to what? Paper clips, right? Our kilograms are equivalent to what? The weight of a book. Okay, that stuff should still be stuck in our head, but we should be ready to wrap it up. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. We're going to watch a quick little video on the way we will do our word problems today. We'll work on a couple together, and then I will send you off on your own, and it should be a pretty simple day in math, just what we like. All right, here we go.
How do you use drawings to solve problems? Think about this question during the lesson. In a juice factory, one 50-liter container had 28 liters of juice in it. An hour later, it had 45 liters of juice. How many liters of juice were added? You can use reasoning to figure out the meaning of the numbers. The drawing shows how the amount changed. What does each black line on the beakers represent?
All right, so we've talked about that before, how we have to pay attention to what the numbers are increasing by. So if we look here, we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But we also have to think about what is in between each of the multiples of 10. Well, if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So we couldn't count by ones because you don't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, do you? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Fives we've counted by before. Does that make sense? 5, 10, 15, 20. No, we'd be up at 25. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, what could we count by? What do you think? Not ones, not fives. Could we maybe count by twos? Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Does that make sense? So each line would represent what? 2 liters? Is that what you think? All right, let's check and see if we're right.
Each line represents 2 liters.
A diagram will be really helpful here.
Draw a picture to show what you know. How does the bar diagram represent the information you are given and what you need to find?
Okay, so like I always say, they teach us lots of different strategies. You might love the bar diagram. You might not love the bar diagram, and that is fine, okay? We will practice a couple with the bar diagram, and then if you like it, use it. If you don't, just solve the problem, okay? This just helps us kind of visualize what we already know and what we're missing, okay? So let's see how they explain it. And then, like I said, we'll try both ways. We pick which one we like the best, okay?
The first box in the bar diagram shows the amount to start with, and the line with 45 liters in all above the diagram shows the total amount of juice an hour later. The second box contains a letter that represents the amount of juice added. You know the total and one part. Subtract to find how many liters were added. Subtract to solve the problem. 45 minus 28 equals H. 45 minus 28 equals 17. So 17 liters of juice were added to the container. Is there another equation you can write to solve the problem?
Okay, so we subtracted to find our answer, but we know the problem wasn't a subtraction problem, right? We know that they had 28 liters to start with. They got some more, and now they have that total of 45. So even though we have to subtract to figure out the answer, you could also set it up just like the word problem is with addition, right? And we could just plug in that missing number, but we would probably still have to subtract to find that missing number, okay? But let's see if addition is the other word problem that they're talking about.
Yes, you could write the addition equation 28 plus h equals 45. So in both equations, h equals 17 liters of juice added. Now you know how to use drawings to solve problems.
All right, like I said, this should be pretty simple for us. We're going to be searching for those keywords that help us know if we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, okay? We should be pretty good at that. We're circling our numbers, boxing those keywords. Today, you are going to need your Volume 2 math book. You're also going to need that additional practice book, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to turn to page 563 in our Volume 2 math book while I share my screen with you. 563. Okay? So we'll practice a couple with that bar diagram, and then we can decide what we want to do here down at the bottom. And then when it is on you, you're working on it, you do the way that works for you. Okay? All right. So again, we are on 563, and we are looking at number 2. Alex buys a box of pudding and a box of cocoa. I'm boxing and because that's helping me know what. What does and mean? Addition, right? So we know Alex bought a box of pudding and a box of cocoa. The mass of the box of pudding is 100 grams. So they wrote that right here in the bar diagram. The total mass, oh, that's another key word. Total, we should know means what? What it equals, right? The total mass of the 2 boxes is 550 grams. Here it is. Here's our total. What is the mass of the box of cocoa? So we don't know what the box of cocoa is, but we know that plus 100 is going to equal what? 550. So we could set it up the way it mentions in the word problem. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's what we're going to use to help us solve the problem. But it helps us kind of figure it out. We know that the box of cocoa is pudding is 100 grams plus the box of cocoa, that's our mystery number, but all together it's going to equal 550 grams, right? So what should we do? We're not going to add them together. What are we going to do? It's similar to that word problem in the video. Are we going to subtract to help us add? Yes. So we want to always make sure we have our greatest number on top. And we are lining up our ones place, our tens place, and our hundreds place. Go ahead and solve that. What would the answer be? Okay, well, we know 0 minus 0 equals 0. 5 minus 0 equals 5. And 5 minus 1 equals 4. You should have gotten 450 grams. That is the mass of the what? Of the cocoa. Okay, friends? All right, let's look at our next one. As I'm reading it, you're hunting for those keywords. You're circling those numbers. Peter divided Should we box it? 120 liters of water equally into 3 containers. How many liters did Peter pour into each container? Okay, well, we know when we divide, the greatest number has to go first, right? So we know in all, it was 120 liters that we started with, right? And he divided it into how many containers? Well, this is where that picture kind of helps us. How many containers are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 containers, right? And we want to know how much is in each container. Well, this is a big number. Don't get intimidated by this big number, 120, because there is a division problem that you know inside of this. Okay, what if we got rid of the 0 for right now and we just did 12 divided by 3? What's 12 divided by 3? Or 3 times what equals 12? Take a minute and think about that. Okay, well, 12 divided by 3 equals what? 4. But we have to remember that we took away that super 0. So we actually have to add it. So each container held what? 40 liters. Does that make sense? Because if we say 40 plus, we could add plus 40 plus 40, that is going to equal 120. All right, let's try a couple more. Adela pours 235 liters of milk into a blue vat and 497 liters of milk into a red vat. How many liters of milk does she pour in all? Should be pretty simple for us. If we wanted to set it up as a bar diagram, they gave us 2 numbers, right? They gave us 235 liters and 497 liters. They want to know how much she has in all. Remember how that top number represents in all? That's our mystery number. That's the one we don't know. How are we going to solve to figure it out? If she's got 235 liters of milk in one vat and 497 liters in another, in the red vat, I see a key word. What should I box? Go ahead and box it. I hope you box and I hope you know and means what? It means adding. So all we are doing is we are stacking this baby and adding it up. Go ahead and take a minute and solve that one. All right, so if we start with our ones, we know 5 plus 7 equals what? It equals 12. Put down the 2 and we carry the 1, okay? I like doing 9 plus 1 equals what? 10. And then 10 plus 3 equals 13. Put down the 3, carry the 1, okay? 4 plus 1 equals 5, plus 2 more equals 7. Did you get 732 liters? If you did, say yeehaw. Nice job. All right, Samantha bought 523 grams of grapes. After eating some, think about what that might represent. She had 458 grams. How many grams did she eat? All right, well, if we wanted to set it up as our bar diagram, we know she started with 523 grapes, right? She ate some. We don't know how many she ate, right? But after she ate some, She had 458 grams left, right? What are we going to do? How are we going to solve this? Well, what is eating? I'm going to box eating. What does eating represent? When you eat something, do you get more of it or less of it? When you eat it, it goes away, right? So eating is similar to subtracting. Okay? So what are we going to do here? What could we do? Could we subtract these two numbers to get our mystery number? Yeah, that's our only option. So if we have 523 minus 458, go ahead and solve that. Think about more on the top, more on the floor. I see some regrouping here. All right, well, if we look at our ones place, there is more on the floor. So I need to go next door and get 10 more. The 2 turns into a 1. The 3 turns into a 13. 13 minus 8, or if I put 8 in my head and count till I get to 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I get 5. Okay, same thing. There's more on the floor in my tens place. I'm going to have to go next door and get 10 more. The 5 turns into a 4. The 1 turns into an 11. 11 minus 5, or put 5 in your head and count till you get to 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I know 4 minus 4 equals 0. So 65 grams of grapes is how much she ate. If you got that one right, give me a whoop, 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 whoop. All right, Omar is shipping 3 boxes. Each has a mass of 8 kilograms. What is the total mass of all the boxes? All right, 3 boxes. So for our bar diagram, we actually are having 3 boxes now, right? Each has a mass of 8. Oh. What's the total? We don't know the total. That's our mystery number. What are you guys going to box? We had 3 and we've used 8. What's the key word? Box it. You should have boxed each. And we know each means, I hope, multiplication. So we're going to do 8 times 3 equals what? Write it down. It equals 24 kilograms. If you got that right, do the disco. Oop, oop. All right, last one, and then I'm sending you off on your own. Go ahead and look at our assessment practice number 11. Eric filled a container to the 18-liter mark with juice an hour ago. The juice is now at the 15-liter mark. Mark the amount of juice Eric had on the beakers, then find how many liters of juice have been poured. All right, about an hour ago, it says what? He had what? He had 18. So we got to pay attention. We've got to look at our numbers. It looks like it's saying 5, 10, 15, 20. What are we counting by? We're counting by 5s. So if we look here, does this make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each little line represents 1 this time. So we want to get to 18. Okay, well, I know 15 is pretty close to 18. And then we'd say 16, 17, 18. So right here. That's what he started with, right? The juice is now at what? The juice is now at 15. Well, that's an easy one. We just find 15. Okay, find how many liters of juice have been poured out. Okay, well, we could count, or we could what? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. subtract, right? If it's getting smaller, we're subtracting. So if we start with 18 and we take away 15, that'll help us find that mystery number. What is the mystery number? 3, 4, 5, or 6? Well, you should have bubbled in 3 because 8 minus 5 equals 3. And if we look, we could count 1, 2, 3. All right, friends, you are done practicing with me. Like I said, this should have been pretty simple for us, okay? I would also like you to complete in your additional practice book, page 185, okay? So if you need to take a break and then get back at it, you're circling, boxing, and underlining, you can use the bar diagram or not. It is up to you. 185, and you are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. Hey guys, get busy and have a great day. Bye.